Let's rewind a bit, shall we?
I see. So it has begun.
Yes.
Even though Kinzo had heard of the 6 deaths, his emotions did not waver. The expression on his face as he gazed out the window was a smile, as though his opponent in a chess game had just made a spectacular move. It was unimaginable that this expression could appear on a father who had lost many children at once.
Under Rosama's orders, Goda and Cannon are calling the police. Also, she has ordered us to follow your orders, my lord. What shall we do?
This island has already been cut off from the real world. Phones and the like will be useless.
Should I have them stop?
Until the roulette is finished, what they do to pass the time is up to them. Let them do as they like.
Yes.
What should I tell Rosa-sama?
I say again, what they do to pass the time is up to them. They can sing if they want, dance if they want. They're even free to hang themselves by the neck or jump into a boiling cauldron. Until 13 people die, they can spend their time as they like. If they're that bored, they can spend their time wondering why 6 times 9 is 42. That's the answer to the mystery of man and the universe.
You get it? 42.
No, the fuck it ain't.
I know, that's the joke. That's the joke. It doesn't make sense. That's the funny bit.
Then where's the funny?
I found it funny. What? Everyone's just like, wait, the math doesn't work out. I know! That's the point! Y'all, Kinzo's a boomer who's off his rocker. Y'all expect him to be able to do even 1 + 1? Also, the joke of 42, he thinks that the question is, what is 6 times 9? That equals to 42. Whatever. Yes! My apologies. Shannon cowered in fright at this sudden rage. Genji made a gesture as though telling her not to say too much. I found it hilarious. Shannon couldn't help but regret speaking out of turn.
However, you're also free to do as you wish, Genji and Shannon. You have done well serving me until today.
Your words are too good for me. But,
We are furniture who have sworn to serve you, my lord. At any and all times, we will be awaiting by your side. Until the very end.
I want to tell the two of you about everything. Shannon, I shall be writing a will. Please copy what I say. Genji, please, my usual drink.
Huh? Yes! Nanjo had often recommended that Kinzo write a will because of his health, but each time Kinzo had gone mad with rage. Since that time, will had been the word Kinzo took the most exception at. Because that word had come out of his mouth, Shannon couldn't help doubting her ears for an instant. Yes, MKU, the math is incorrect, but the joke is that he's stupid. the joke is he's stupid to believe that that is the question to the ultimate answer. That's the ultimate question to the answer 42. Shannon hurriedly prepared the side table and some writing paper. Genji also began preparing his usual green devil, just as he was ordered. Yeah, 6 times 9 is 69, we all know this. I am ready.
Where should I start from? I suppose I could also speak of my life. It would be fun to leave a record of my memory. Okay.
I pressed the button, sorry. It is old games.
It truly is fun to read the records of old games from over a century ago. A journey searching for those players' thoughts. Then will the score sheet of my life also beckon those in the future to go on a journey searching for my thoughts?
Write them bitches out of the wheel time, right? Fuck Fuck my offspring. Fuck their offspring. Fuck it all. For a while, Kinzo considered where he should start speaking from, striding all around the room with his hands behind his back.
My lord. Here.
Good. Thank you, my friend. Well then, if I am to speak of my life, I must begin writing from when I met that witch. Shannon, copy this. My reading with Beatrice took place a long way back. What year of the Showa era was it? I think it was toward the end of the war.
This old bastard is a fucking idiot. Yes! Ask anyone in the Umineko fandom, and without spoiling things, yes, he's a fucking idiot.
Oh, thank God, I thought I actually had to, like, read an entire fucking will. I don't think my voice would have been prepared for that.
We took enough time to regain our calm. We each swore to our parents that we'd definitely catch the killer. It would be a lie to say we weren't still bitter. Even now, if we gave in just a little, we'd feel like going on a rampage like Jessica and resorting to some kind of violence. According to what Goda said after he got back, right now Kanon-kun was looking after Jessica. Apparently, she was still very emotionally high-strung. I see. Thank you. Maybe a young kid would be better at understanding a young kid's feelings. It would probably be better if we left them alone for now. How did this boomer become a bazillionaire? That's explained in the Answers arc. I mean, right now, it's the witch. The witch gave him a bunch of fucking money and he became rich. Duh.
Rosa-san, there's nothing more we can accomplish by remaining here. The telephone may not be working, but tomorrow the boat will come, and we should be able to reach the police. We should leave this place as it is for the police's investigation.
I agree with Dr. Nanjo. It is bad for your health to stay in a place like this for far too long. Let us return and make some black tea.
Yes, I'm all for that too. Battle-kun, George-kun, are you ready? Let's close this place up. We should leave this place as it is for when the police come, if anything else.
You're right. Battle-kun, are you alright? Yeah. I've cried all I can. I'm fine now.
The police would surely find some evidence from a thorough investigation. But we hadn't been adult enough to wait for that. I had investigated the chapel in my own way, trying to catch the culprit before the police got here. What I figured out was, frustratingly, nothing. I hadn't been able to find a single hint. Come on, let's go out. Maria, we are going. Don't keep staring at it.
Come, Maria-sama. Let us return. It is cold here. Mother, Father, thank you for everything. I will definitely become a man who doesn't betray your expectations.
George spoke his last words of farewell to his parents. After seeing that, Battler followed suit.
Dad, Kiria-san,
Taken on their faces, made it look like they were sleeping, which made it all the more bitter.
forgive me for leaving you in such a chilly place. I'll definitely get whoever did this. Definitely. What is this? What disgusting graffiti. Did the killer draw it?
It's worse than vulgar. This is horrible.
When the door of the chapel was closed, we learned about that creepy graffiti for the first time.
It was like this when we first found it. No doubt it was drawn by the culprit. The culprit was a witch. So was this magic circle to summon a demon or something?
This is the 7th magic circle of the sun. You don't even know that, huh? Ouch!
Hey! Don't I always tell you not to make that creepy laugh?
Maria, go on. What does it mean?
It is a magic circle to escape from physical or mental bonds. And the Hebrew written around the circumference says, "The Lord has freed me from my chain. I will offer to you the sacrifice of thanksgiving, and will call on the name of the Lord."
Sacrifice of Thanksgiving? Are you telling me that killing Father and the rest was so that they could be sacrifices for this magic circle?
Calm yourself, George Quinn. This is the killer trying to provoke us. It doesn't mean anything. Just thinking about it poisons the heart.
And there's some English written. Happy Halloween for Maria. I see. And the key to open this door was handed over to Maria. Is that what this is? But this is the chapel. Maybe Maria doesn't mean Maria-chan, but the Virgin Mary? In that case, could you read this as a blasphemy against God in the name of Halloween? They say that witches who make contracts with demons swear to always defile God's name. In that sense, this really is a witch-like crime.
You sure know a lot. Did you hear that from Maria?
Yeah, something like that. So, the chapel. They went to all the trouble of calling them out to the chapel before killing them. Auntie Rosa? Does this chapel have some special meaning?
What do you mean, special meaning? Also, this is one of my really, really good track. I love this track.
Well, they carried 6 human corpses all the way over here and made these elaborate decorations. We can't tell whether she called the 6 of them over here before killing them, or whether she killed them and carried them over here. But either way, it would take a lot of effort. What reason did the culprit have for wanting 6 people to die here?
Yes, that is something. Doing something that elaborate, it would be an extremely high chance for that when the police came, some disadvantageous evidence would be found. There's no way the culprit failed to notice that. Then, why did the culprit go to all the effort of doing this? And this is the question we face.
In that case, there's one question that comes out at this point. What meaning does this place where we found the 6 corpses have?
This chapel was important to Father. I've been strictly told not to enter it since I was a kid.
I came here once too, got yelled at a lot.
An important chapel? Does it have some connection to the Ushiromiya main family?
I don't know. Father viewed this chapel as very sacred, and he treasured it so much that he had it redecorated several times. But as you all know, Father simply has a love of black magic. It's not that he was a devout believer. I'd never heard of him coming here to offer his prayers to God.
Even to the best of my knowledge, the master has never come here. We even called this the Forbidden Chapel. And thought of it as quite eerie, like a haunted house.
Even though Father never approached it himself for some reason, he made the servants clean it several times a year. It felt like he kept it clean all the time so that it could be used at any time.
And even so, it's called the Forbidden Chapel. Ehehe. This may be indiscreet, but doesn't that have an interesting ring to it? Dr. Nancho, you're no friend of Grandfather's, right? Ever ask him anything about that?
As a black mage main, this man's knowledge of black magic sucks. I asked about it long ago, but I forgot what he said to evade the issue. That's right, didn't he say something like this? Someday, he too might be able to receive a blessing there. But unless a miracle occurred, that day would never come.
What does that mean? What goes on in a chapel? He couldn't mean his own funeral, right?
Magikiza was a joke character in a fighting game, and his ultimate talent was just screaming, Beatrice! Those a giant portrait just throws. I would love that though, straight up, this old ass Kinzo just coming in, Beatrice! Pulls a painting out of nowhere, just swings. I wouldn't believe that of Kinzo-san. He was a man much more focused on now, while he still lives, rather than things after death. However, it does seem that this was the root of all the complexity in the inheritance problem.
What else is there do you do in a chapel? Pray? Aren't conversions done in chapels as well? Anyway, it sounds suspicious. I don't know the reason, but just as Dr. Nacho said, it seems that in Grandfather's eyes, the fact that he wouldn't receive a blessing unless a miracle occurred was a fate set in stone from the time this chapel was constructed.
How can you tell that?
See? It's clearly written up there. Look, up there.
George Anarchy pointed to a relief in the rusted gold letters at the arch above the door. It looked like some message was written there in English. The rust showed that the message had been there since construction.
I'm bad at English, even though we're speaking English right now.
Translations.
Oh. What's it say? This door is opened only at probability of? Sorry, my English sucks.
I gave up after I was unable to finish reading the first of the 2 lines. It looked like the others could read it properly.
I think it went MBTQ, so, how big was that again? I think, in any case, this is incredible. You could even count close to that with all the fingers on both hands. It would really be impossible unless a miracle occurred.
Certainly. It's very much like how Kinzo-san used to talk, when he would tend to relate everything in terms of gambling.
What? What? You could read all of it? Someone tell me what it means too. I'm going to punch that fucking face.
At least learn English. How did you get into high school without you being able to read this much? Ouch! Ow! Ow!
Mind your own damn business. So what's written there?
Roughly, it says, this door is open only when a miracle occurs. You will be blessed only when a miracle occurs. Grandfather's sorcery was based on astronomically low probabilities. In other words, the miracle that would open this door would probably require an incredibly vast magical power.
Nice. You can shut up now. Auntie Rosa, you were sending Maria to English classes? I guess it's true. You have to start learning English when you're young. The Forbidden Chapel. Whether or not the witch Beatrice really was a witch, she's whispered to have actually existed several decades ago and been Grandfather's mistress. This is, just my imagination, but I imagine the master really did truly love Beatrice-sama. However, he was already married, so they couldn't be united. I see. If the dead Beatrice could be revived with the magic of a miracle, then now the grandmother is dead, he could marry her with his head held high. And he'd marry her in this chapel. Could it be a fairy tale story like that? Because, you know, divorce couldn't be a simple thing.
I don't think that sounds so preposterous. It's a well-known fact that father still loves Beatrice deeply. And I mean, okay, let's think about this. This is 1980s. This is divorce rates in America, we think, were pretty like level commonplace now that no-fault divorce was introduced at this time. A lot of people were marrying more for love than prestige. But this family is all about the prestige. I'll say this much because it was described at the beginning in the first episode. Kinzo married out of obligation. Like, he was forced to marry. So he couldn't be necessarily with the one he loved. So divorce, not an option. That is not an option. Also, even though I said it was creepy, I get the feeling that the interior of the chapel was quite magnificent. The thought of that father built this chapel in the hopes of having a wedding with his dead mistress actually might not be that unlikely.
By the time he built this chapel, grandfather probably knew that he would never use it as a church as long as he lived. But he prayed for the witch to be revived by some miracle. Then he thought that if the miracle occurred, they could be married here.
I see. If you think of it that way, this would be a place of utmost significance to Beatrice-sama as well. All the while knowing it was a chapel that would never be opened. A story of sad love.
Even though Goda's body was even bigger than mine, his words were even touching. Everyone was silent. It seemed that they agreed with that view. Even though he knew it was a chapel never to be opened, he still probably dreamed of the day that miracle would occur. Kinzo-san was a great romantic in his younger years. And I feel as though I understand him.
Ehehe. I wonder. But you all came in 4 times a year to clean it, right? What do you mean, never opened? Didn't we just go in ourselves? That wasn't a miracle or anything? We brought the key, clunk, and we're in. That's all that happened. This is ridiculous.
Huh? Wait. What on earth?
What do you mean, what on earth?
I thought I had done is mess around because I didn't like the way the atmosphere turned all sappy. But Auntie Rosa had suddenly jumped on me with a really serious face. Auntie Rosa's face grew increasingly pale. She looked at the magic circle on the door, then at her hand, back and forth, back and forth.
What seems to be the matter, Rosa-sama?
Hey, Goda-san! The key to this chapel. Didn't Genji-san say it? He said there was only one!
Huh?
It took you all far too long to notice. Yay!
When a kid pulls a prank, it sometimes goes unnoticed by the adults. The kid who did it loses heart. If one of those pranks catches someone later on, it really makes that kid really happy. Maria's celebration just now looked a lot like that. Sorry.
Yes, that's right. There was only one of those keys. It is the key to the Master's Treasure Chapel, so there was only one, with no duplicates. It is normally kept safe in the key box in the server room, but...
That's right. And Genji-san said that it had gone missing. Someone stole it, put it in that envelope, and handed it to Maria. And saw that was yesterday.
What? Wait, but then... That makes no sense, doesn't it? That's absurd. This is getting strange.
What do you all mean? I don't have a clue what you're talking about.
Me neither. Would someone be so kind as to explain it for us? Goda and Nanjo's failure to understand definitely wasn't because they were stupid. They didn't know. They didn't know how long the only key to the chapel had been in Maria's hand. I'm positive. It was locked. I unlocked it. Definitely. Auntie Rosa kept closing the chapel door, locking it, pulling it, check out the lock, and opening it again. Her face was becoming pale again. Until I took the key out of Maria's envelope and opened this door. It was definitely locked. But this key was in the envelope and in Maria's care. And that happened yesterday before noon. What did you say?
But then that's strange.
Yes, it is. Maria received the only key from a woman calling herself a witch midday yesterday. In other words, from midday yesterday until this morning, when Auntie Rosa unlocked the door, this chapel was a locked room. How did they get those 6 in there, and how did they kill them?
We had been confused by the 6 deaths. We thought that we'd figured out after hearing that. We had figured something out after hearing about that weird magic circle and the history of the chapel. that had all been a worthless problem. From midday to yesterday to this morning, this chapel had been a locked room. But our parents had been with us until last night. How had the culprit opened this door? And how had they locked it?
What are you trying to pull? Again? A locked room again? Are you trying to say that you unlocked it with the power of magic? I'm not that stupid.
If you tell me to show you how I open locks with my power, then I can show you. But that will not make you surrender. These explanations with humans you talk about. The time I fully exhaust those theories of yours will be the time of my victory. Come now, how will you destroy it? If it was a human, what trick could they have used to defeat it?
It's just like the locked rooms last time. Not enough information. It's impossible to reason like this. Any excuse could be made, any trick would work. Guessing is useless.
That again. There's not enough information, so you'll wait and see. The information is uncertain, so it's impossible to reason. Ha! Those are always the excuses you humans use to stop thinking. What is this pretense, you lowly human? Are you saying that unless you're like Laplace's demon, you can't even think, you incompetent fool? And you speak as though a lack of information is disadvantageous to you, when it's actually the complete opposite, you see. The more information you're given, the more it will pain you. It will only cause the strength of the compressor squeezing you to increase.
Oh. Well, in that case, let me say this. It's impossible to verify that this is even a locked room in the first place. If we're talking about demons, I've got one for you as well. It's impossible to prove that this isn't a locked room. You just have to show how someone could go in or out. But it's impossible to prove that it is a locked room. You can't deny the endless set of methods of getting in. In other words, this is one of those devil's proofs.
Hey, devil's proof. Remember that. That's a key phrase. Remember that. Devil's proof. Everyone, repeat after me. Devil's proof. It's just like flipping the chessboard. It's one of those things that's going to repeat over and over and over again.
The definition of a locked room is in fact impossible to prove.
So, after you stop thinking with a lack of information as an excuse, this is what comes next. Oh well, if that is your move, then I will accept it. Continue.
First off, it looks like you're trying to say that the chapel is a locked room. Just a short while ago, I spent some time looking around in there, and yeah, I really couldn't find any way in or out except for the door. But that just means I couldn't find one. It doesn't prove that it was a locked room. If there was a hidden door or something that I wasn't able to find, all your premises are completely blown away. In other words, whether I'm able to find a hidden door or not, you can never deny a method X by which the locked room could be entered. And this method X could be carried out without magic. After all, it's a hidden door. I'm sure that in this chapel there's some hidden door that's impossible to find. So I don't even need to start guessing, and I can say that magic is impossible.
So you use that reasoning. How naive. An expected move. Let me make my move in response. I have always thought the locked rooms that feature the worthless human detective novels to be ridiculous. Why? Because they are used the wrong way. When a locked room appears in a detective novel, do you really think that is a locked room? You don't, do you? What trick did they use to make this lock look like a locked room? That's what you think. In other words, out of all the locked room murders humanity has built over 100 years, not a single one has ever been made complete.
Ooh, that's some talk. Mystery fans are pretty scary, you know. Christy is probably grinding her teeth in her grave.
Agatha Christie can suck my taint. Okay. I love Agatha Christie. I'm so sorry. Please forgive me from the grave. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. But I am different. I have given birth to a true locked room. And I can demonstrate that. Why?
How the fuck did you give birth to a locked room and not have your pussy destroyed?
I'm a witch. Duh. It's called magic re-zipping. Because I am a witch. There, I've answered it twice now. For the devil's proof, all you have to do is bring along a devil to prove it. Yes? Well, that's convenient. As a witch, devils and demons are my good friends. I'll bring as many as you like.
Sounds great. Dad and the rest enter the chapel using hidden door or were carried in through. How do you plan to beat this move?
It's called having a magic pussy. No room is locked with my antique sledgehammer and trusty rocket launcher. You know, that's fair. With this, regardless of whether they are alive or dead, the 6 definitely entered through the door.
Huh? Dumbass. The door was locked. How'd they do it?
I opened it with magic and invited them inside.
Like hell you did. I can't accept magic, so there's no way in hell I'll accept that. You're lying. That door could be opened with some trick. Or maybe there's a hidden door. I won't accept any other way.
Perpetual. That's what we call an endless repetition of moves in chess. In our game, both sides denying the basis of each other's claims and failing to advance the discussion is the same as an endless repetition of moves.
Speaking of which, chess after this?
Hell yeah, let's go. In most games, this would be decided as a draw, but that would terribly dampen the interest of this game. We will have no draws. In short, you will either accept me and submit to me, or not.
At least I agree with you there. We'll settle this without fail, just as you wish.
That disposition is good. So I had a thought. I think I'll add a new rule to this game between you and me.
A new rule? I bet it's a rule that'll give you an advantage, right?
Is it wrong that my money's on Bryan winning that chess match? Let me tell you this right now. I don't believe Bryan's ever won a chess match against me. Not once.
No, I think I at least won one. But that's probably it, just one.
If it was, it's just one out of like the multiple times we went against each other. Would I do that? I'll give you the thing that people like you never cease to demand. The reason you incompetent fools always stop thinking and then moan about it as lack of information. If you are then given information, you start doubting whether the information is true or not by denying the basis. Aren't those convenient? What clever little words to hide your own incompetence. I shall eliminate those convenient excuses. You should thank me.
You said they entered through the door, and I denied it, saying that couldn't happen. Are you saying that's an evasive answer?
That's right. So from now on, when I speak the truth, I will use red.
What are you talking about? I am only seeing your words. I don't see any sort of subtitles.
It's funny, because in the anime they actually do this very, very well. This is the only thing they do well in the anime. Essentially, words that come out of their mouths actually physically form and actually show the color red. And later other colors.
What is this? Keep explaining.
No matter what magic move I use, you can always keep running away by repeating lack of information or denying the basis. Even though I would still win in the end that way, it would be extremely boring. Because of that, I think I'll give you that information and basis that you desire. However, you would probably doubt each word I say. That isn't bad in itself. I will also use every possible move to make you submit. I don't dislike our posture of searching out the best moves against each other. But that won't make a game. So I set up this rule. Everything I speak in red is the truth. There's absolutely no need to doubt it.
Are you telling me to believe that?
This is a game between you and me. In the game, the rules are sacred. Those who take them lightly are not qualified to play.
Alright, I got it. I'll accept that rule. Even an elementary school kid can get into an endless argument and find fault with everything. Or some random person on Twitter.
Right?
Then let's restart right now and continue where we left off. I'll repeat it again. Dad and the rest entered the chapel using a hidden door, or were carried in through one.
Then I shall repeat what I said. Regardless of whether they were alive or dead, the 6 definitely entered through the door.
Is there any proof?
Stop! I will supplement the rule. When I speak the truth, I will use red. And when I do not bear the responsibility of establishing that by showing proof. It is simply a fact and the truth. The reason is simple. I carry out all the crimes of magic. So for any impossible crime, all I have to do is wave my magic staff before your eyes. But that wouldn't make a game. It would be like the barbarism of ignoring victory and defeat in a chess game and punching your opponent.
Well, that is true. If you were a witch, there'd be no need for you to show proof. Because you could do anything with magic. That's nasty. What an unfair game.
So, shall we resume once more? The 6 people definitely entered through the door. I unlocked it with magic. How will you defeat this magic, this locked room?
The key. Genji-san and the others said that there was only one key, but that's impossible to prove. The culprit secretly made a duplicate key.
Only one key to the chapel exists.
Then what about this? The culprit used something other than a legitimate key to open it. I don't know what, but maybe a wire. A tool for picking locks.
What is this naive move? It is impossible to unlock the lock to the chapel with anything but the chapel's key. Although it can be opened with the power of magic, of course.
Then what about this? There's something wrong with the door itself. Even while it was locked, there was some way to pass through it. As to what it is, I can think of a few ways. Maybe like on the big doors to a castle which have smaller door on them, there was another door here. It's also possible that they removed the hinges and then removed the whole door before entering.
Is this the intelligence of 100 years of humanity? Battler!
I'm only 18.
When the door to the chapel is locked, it prevents any and all methods of entry or exit. As long as you can't use magic, of course. Is it about time for checkmate?
Not even close. You said that the 6 people entered through the door, but you didn't say it was this front door. They might have entered through another secret door.
You talk too much, you incompetent fool. Then let me advance more on my earlier move. The 6 definitely entered through this front door.
Let's screw it up. The door was locked. It was impossible to unlock without using that single key, and yet 6 people entered through this door? How did they do it? Magic, you say? Damn it, damn it, damn it, damn it, damn it.
So, pure curiosity, how would you discern this? Give me one. We'll go ahead. Whenever Battler and Beatrice should go have a back-to-back, me and Bryan will also have the same mentality. Bryan gets one chance to figure out how this was done. And mind you guys, I know the truth, and by the way, I forgot to do this today, but... Don't spoil the game. Here are your trigger warnings. But nonetheless, Bryan gets one chance each time that Battler and Beatrice go back to back, like go head to head. So, how would you solve this locker room?
I literally don't know what to fucking say at this point.
Okay. There is a way. I guarantee you there is a way. Okay. Alright. We'll keep on. Have we already exposed a human's limits? Then shout resign. It is customary for a surrendering player to shout that and topple their king. Come on! Do you give up? Then proclaim your submission and kneel as if toppling your king. Then you shall kiss my shoes. There's no greater joy than forcing a man like you to lick my shoes. This is Battler.
Damn it. It's no good, no good, no good. So I can't win against the witch? This isn't chess at all. I've just been made to take the losing side in a chess problem. Is quibbling about details and getting a draw the best I can do?
That definitely will not happen. Either I will surrender, or you will surrender. There will be no resolution other than those. What happened to that bravery when you said that this world would be torture for us both? Wait. What a letdown! This is quite disappointing! Shoot me a battler!
Damn it. What should I do? What? I could see it. I could see myself facing checkmate. It's no good. It's no good. All my hard-fought moves are nothing more than desperately moving my king, running away from check. No matter how many times I move, I can't escape from being checked. So even without waiting for the next several moves, I can see my mate in my future.
You can see me? Sorry, go ahead, continue.
I can see mate in my future.
Damn it.
After a few more moves, I see myself being checkmated. Don't give up, Ushiromiya Battler. If I can see myself getting closed in upon, then if I flip over the chessboard, I can anticipate the next move, right?
We're gonna flip the choice board. Woo!
Kiria-san told me, when considering something, the closer you get to the very, very end, the easier it becomes to anticipate. Flip it over. Flip over. The chessboard.
Yeet! Don't you have that sound effect? Yeet!
Yeah, I just gotta add it to the soundboard. Hold on. Yeah.
Okay.
Give me like 2 minutes.
It's okay. What's wrong? You've gone silent all of a sudden. Don't worry. Surrender is but a momentary shame. After that, there's only the pleasure of letting it all go. Come, cry out your resignation. I can't hear you. Speak clearly in a loud voice.
You ought to wake up then. You aren't just listening. Or you just aren't listening. So I'll say it once more. I won't resign. We're continuing. I'm resuming the game.
Oh, very well. It is your turn.
I was making the mistake of thinking that this rule you made was your own weapon. However, I realized that it can also become a weapon for me. It all comes down to this.
Try it.
I spent the whole time focused on how they entered the locked room in the chapel. that way of thinking was no good. Yeah, it's no good. It's no goddamn good at all. Flip over the chessboard. That's right. The direction of my thinking was backwards. This is how I should think. How was the chapel, which wasn't the locked room in the first place, made to look like a locked room?
Here it is. The thinking technique that humans gave birth to a century ago. Give it a try.
Say this in red for me. If it's impossible, then decline. Here I go.
This man. You thinks he has turned away from his defensive posture? Impudent.
I understand that the only way to enter the chapel is through the door, and that there was only one key. But hold it right there.
Hold it!
Was that key really handed over to Maria yesterday before noon?
Long-winded. Summarize it.
It's something like this. We've been under the impression that since midday yesterday, the key was unusable. Therefore, we've been under the impression that this was a locked room from midday yesterday until this morning. I want you to clearly state that this isn't just an impression, but a fact.
Interesting. So you reason not about the door, but the key.
Yesterday, Maria received an envelope from you. Maria didn't open it, but she might have felt it and learned that there was a key inside. But it's not as if she could have checked it. It was definitely the key to the chapel. So this is what I'm getting at. The envelope that was handed to Maria contained a fake.
I waited all that time for that nonsense? This morning, Rosa definitely took an envelope out of Maria's handbag, and from that obtained the genuine key to the chapel. It wasn't a fake, as you say.
I know that much. I'll continue. So, when Maria received the envelope, inside it, was there definitely that same key to the chapel?
Oh.
What I mean is basically this. Midday yesterday, you gave Maria an envelope with the key inside, and you told her that she mustn't open it. Maria probably realized that there was a key inside. And because later on, Auntie Rosa used what was inside the envelope to open the door to the chapel, we thought that there was the key to the chapel. Alright, we thought that was the key to the chapel. This is the suspicious part.
So is this what you are trying to say? That when I entrusted Maria with the key, that key was a fake? And then, by the time Rosa obtained it, it had been switched with the real thing?
Yeah, that's it. What's wrong, Beatrice-sama? Looks like you haven't been feeling good for a while.
Those close to me sometimes call me Beato. Beato is fine.
It's your turn, Beato. Turn of the Golden Witch. Show me how you defeat that.
Very well. The key to the chapel truly was the object inside the envelope I gave Maria.
I'll chase you. Can you repeat it in red? That envelope was completely under Maria's supervision until Auntie Rosa opened it. Aha! If it's impossible, then state that you decline. Check.
I decline.
Now the one turn advantage has flipped over.
And that was why I was like, it's possible, you just gotta think of beyond the door. You got it. But now do you understand kind of how this game is played now? Very, very, very nice.
Now it's time for your king to run, Beato.
I have a reason for declining. That is regarding the definition of the phrase under her supervision. In its purest meaning, Maria would need to have her eyes on it around the clock. But Maria didn't go that far. It was probably completely under her supervision during the time she had it outside of her handbag, but after she put it into her handbag, it disappeared from her field of vision. It was just that the phrase under her supervision isn't appropriate in that sense, so I couldn't use red.
That was probably a painful move. Your face tells me that you guessed the next one. Sorry. I'm gentle with women. I don't hurt women.
You sure love to grab their boobies, though.
I don't betray a woman's expectations. Repeat it for me in red. Say it if you can. No one was able to touch Maria's handbag until Auntie Rosa took out the envelope.
I will also decline this. I won't explain the reason.
I bet you couldn't, bitch. That's wrong. It's not that you won't explain. You can't explain. With that move, it's checkmate, isn't it? If you can't do it, then I'll explain it for you. The key to the chapel really was in the envelope that you handed to Maria. Then Maria put it in her handbag, and the next morning, Auntie Rosa took it out and opened the lock. However, Maria didn't have the handbag under her complete supervision. There's no need for magic. It's a locked room trick that's possible for a human. The human culprit handed Maria the key, and by making Auntie Rosa use it the next morning, they created the illusion that there was a locked room during that time. You can't deny the possibility that during that time, the culprit took the key from Maria's handbag, used it, and returned it to the handbag by morning. Can you say it in red? Repetition requested. Say it if you can. It's check again.
Hold on! I'll remove the check. The envelope with the key in it should have been sealed with wax. Rosa took it from an unopened envelope.
Really? Let's hear it then. Repetition requested. The envelope handed over midday yesterday and the envelope that Auntie Rosa opened are the same thing.
That I can repeat. The envelope I handed over to Maria and the one Rosa opened are the same thing.
Ha! That's no good. That's so goddamn good at all. Who even cares about that anymore? I had expectations for you. If you had resigned here, I would have thought of you as someone pretty good at reading between the lines. So I'm disappointed. You've betrayed my expectations.
What?
It isn't important whether the envelopes are the same thing, because envelopes can be sealed with wax over and over. The key inside should be the important thing. Real quick, so if it was sealed with the wax seal, could it be sealed again with that same seal?
Correct. Because what you would need to do is use a letter opener, and I'm teaching you all this. You use a letter opener, slice underneath the wax seal, very, very gingerly and carefully. Make sure with the most delicate of hands you have, open it, take out whatever's inside, use whatever's inside, put it back in, close it the way you came, and then maybe use either like a candle or a lighter, light underneath that wax seal, and seal it back in. Because wax is still meltable under heat.
This time, it's all over, Golden Witch. It's a real checkmate. I'll ask once more. I'll ask one more time. Repetition requested. Say it if you can. The key to the chapel inside the envelope Maria received wasn't used even once until Auntie Rosa opened the envelope.
Ow. could I? But you a lowly human!
I'll keep on saying it, Beatrice. Repetition requested. The key to the chapel inside the envelope Maria received wasn't used even once until Auntie Rosa opened the envelope.
Good.
If you're gonna yell, then make it words. Resign, right? It's settled. This is the truth. Before Auntie Rosa obtained Maria's key this morning, at one point, it passed into someone else's hands. Then they used it, resealed it, and returned it to Maria's handbag, making it look like it hadn't been used. This is a trick with a cheap loophole, the assumption that the key wasn't used before the sealing wax wasn't broken. Checkmate. There's no magic, it's nothing more than a trick that's possible for humans.
In that case, who do you say stole the key? Try answering. This time, you try repeating it.
That's right. I'm making you repeat things all the time. I probably have to answer myself every once in a while. But I refuse. My condition for victory is denying the existence of witches. Once I've proven that your impossible crimes by magic are possible by human hands, I'm done. I've smashed your locked room with something possible even for humans. However, I won't specifically investigate who the culprit is. That is because I believe in humans. Because I definitely won't accept that there's a person among us who would steal the key from Maria, use it, and do something so horrible.
I give up. I resign. With regard to this one board in particular, I'll give up for now. But you really are naive, battler.
Parting remarks are the loser's privilege. Enjoy them as much as you want.
As long as you continue to deny my existence, you'll eventually be cornered. After all, as long as you deny me, you'll have to suspect those relatives that you have no end of love for. In that last moment, when you have to suspect one who is beloved to you, then you will definitely accept my existence. Certainly you have taken this board. However, that naive logic will definitely destroy you. You can't win against me after all. Ushia me a battler!